Good morning, councillors, Your Worship Gale, Mr. Miles Vanny, Bob Bailey, special guests, and colleagues. My name is Stéphane Sfo, and I'm serving as the clerk for Lambton County this morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you here today for the swearing-in of our council and, of course, the election of our deputy warden and our 158th warden. We have important business to conduct today. Our key items of business are as follows, and there are 5. 1, swearing in of council. 2, the election of our 158th warden. 3, the election of our deputy warden. 4th, the swearing in of our warden to that office. And 5, regular council meeting, which includes striking the striking committee, a meeting of the striking committee, and then appointment of councils to their various subcommittees, and a meeting of both of those subcommittees, that is Committee AM and Committee PM. So that being said, we will proceed with your swearing in. You have your declaration of office in front of you. Please read after me. I. Your names. Having been elected to the office of councillor in the county of Lambton, do solemnly promise and declare that 1, I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. 2, I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. Thirdly, I will destroy or disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Fourth, I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Thank you very much. Please sign your declarations. Welcome to this council. Congratulations. Now, with that business done, we will now proceed to the election of warden. Nominations. At this time, the declared candidate for the office of warden is Councillor Bill Weber, Mayor of Lambton Shores. Is there any other councillor who wishes to run for the office of warden? If so, please state so now. Not seeing any, I declare those nominations closed. As a result, there will not be a race or an election, and therefore I will not go through the election rules with you. So that being the case, I'll spare you those rules. So that being the case, I would like to contact or call up Mr. Todd Case to chair this meeting so that he can adopt with you the appropriate motions to appoint our warden. Mr. Case is, of course, a 3 times past warden of the County of Lambton, having served in 2003, 2004, and again for a 2-year term in 2013 and 14. He will have a few comments to make, and then we'll move with the business of appointing the warden.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Clerk, and it really is an honor to be here with everybody today. After all, I've been retired, I think, for 12 days now. So I can't say it's been a long time since I've been in this chamber, but it's always good to be in this chamber. And first off, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you today, and good luck on the next 4 years. As I said earlier, this is an incredible place that we all sit in today. I came here as a 36-year-old newly elected mayor, and I'll be honest with you, it was almost intimidating to a certain extent when I first came here. There was a lot of political heavyweights from Lambton County that sat around the shoehorn when I first came. And when I first came, there was actually 2 rows of desks. Not because we needed them, but we hadn't got rid of the other layer, because there was 17 members just like there is today. And for the new councilors that are here today, as I just mentioned, I was one of those new councilors, there's a lot of experience in this room. If you ever have a question, don't be afraid to ask somebody who's been here for quite some time. When I came, I was very lucky that we had some of those really good people here. I was fortunate enough to have those mentors, and anybody that knows me knows I'm not usually very shy. I've been known to be a talker. But when I first came here, I really did listen, and it took me probably 3 meetings or so before I really got into the whole debate aspect of council. I was very fortunate when I first came. Pat Davidson was our warden, and Pat was a very good mentor to a young man like myself when I first came. Also, I had people like Bill Bilton and Joe DeDecker, and the one that really was the closest to me was Cam Ivey, who was the former mayor of Lambton Shores. So, to the new councilors, this is a big job that carries a heavy responsibility. But enjoy your time. Enjoy the experience, because it is very rewarding. To the returning councilors, I know you, I've sat with you, you are good people, and you always have managed to put the county first when you walked into this chamber, for which I've always appreciated. Doesn't mean that we don't have great debate in this room, and we agree to disagree from time to time. But at the end of the day, we've always tried to do what's best for this county that we live in. And to the administration, in my opinion, the administration in this building is second to none. Under the leadership of CAO Ron Van Horn, I think we're very fortunate to have the people that we have here. And again, the one thing that's always worked well in my time here is the working together, the spirit of cooperation between the political people and the administrative people. I would hope and encourage you to keep that relationship going into the next term. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, once again, congratulations, good luck on your next term, and I'll be watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair, for those remarks. There is still an opportunity for our one candidate to provide a speech at this juncture if he wishes to do so. Otherwise, assuming Council adopts the appropriate motion and resolution, there will obviously be an opportunity to hear from the warden later on.
I will defer to a little bit later. Thank you.
So that being said, I will ask the Chair to seek a resolution from Council appointing Mr. Bill Weber as Warden of Lambton County Council for 2019-2020. Chair?
Councillor Stark. All in favor? That is carried. Congratulations, Warden Weber. Mr. Clerk, maybe you could read the rules for the Deputy Warden election, please.
Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations, Warden. We'll now proceed to the election of the Deputy Warden. The election rules. Those wishing to be considered for the office of Deputy Warden shall state so by simply standing when asked to do so. The Deputy Warden shall not be chair of a standing committee. The Deputy Warden is elected by secret ballot. The Deputy Warden is elected, each councillor has one vote. We vote at your desks. We will ask at the appropriate time for the scrutineers, Mrs. Jackie Rombouts and Councillor Bev Hand, to distribute the ballots. Once the ballots are collected, they will join me in the councillor's lounge to count those votes. And of course, the candidate that secures the most vote on the ballot wins that election. So unlike for an election of a warden, there's no need for a majority. So if on any ballot there's a tie between two front runners, then a second ballot amongst those two front runners is held, and if a tie persists, those individuals' names are dropped in a box on paper of equal size, and a name is drawn by the clerk. The first name that's drawn by the clerk is elected your deputy warden. Are there any, at this point in time, any questions? So that being said, declarations for the office of deputy warden. At this time, will those wishing to be considered for the office of deputy warden please stand? Chair, we have two candidates, Councillor Mike Stark from the city of Sarnia, and of course, Councillor Kevin Marriott from the township of Enniskillen. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, candidates, our processes contemplate a short speech from both of you, from either one of you, of 2 minutes. The order of that speech is subject to your agreement. If you do not wish to enter that agreement, then maybe a rock, paper, scissors kind of battle will work. How do you wish to proceed? Pardon? Alphabetical order, absolutely. Based on last name? Descending. Is that agreeable? All right. So, Chair.
Mr. Marriott, would you please come forward and deliver your remarks? We didn't miss on them, did we? Where are we sitting over here?
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman, past Councillor Todd Case, Warden Weber, fellow county councillors, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years ago, I considered letting my name stand for deputy warden, but at that time, being principal caregiver for my mom, I just couldn't devote myself 100%. We lost Mom this past May, and after some consideration, I decided that this is the right time. I was first elected to Enniskillen Council in 1994, with the past 7 years as mayor and councillor here at this table. I've enjoyed my 7 years on county council and enjoy seeing Lambton County grow. I've always had a strong passion for Lambton. Having been on some provincial farm boards in the last 18 years, I believe many of those fellow members from across the province grew tired of me bragging about Lambton County. The petrochemical sector and agriculture, the two largest industries of Lambton, have seen some changes to stay competitive. So must we, the local government. Both of these industries give us potential to raise our tax base and draw people to this great county. The amazing amount of waterfront in Lambton, from Grand Bend down to Walpole Island, gives us great growth potential, with Lambton offering quieter and more affordable places to live with employment opportunities. With the housing market much more active than almost any time since the 1970s, this needs to be priority if we are to expect our population to grow. Plimpton, Wyoming alone this year, with 70+ building permits, is a good example of people opting for choices close to water as well as city living. My time on Sarnia-Lambton Economic Partnership this last 2 years and seeing the vacancy rate at the research park and our other areas shows that this county is on the right path with so much more potential. The question will always be, how do we continue to keep growing in population and economic output? I believe we as county council must come to this table representing our own municipality, but make decisions that are for the greater good of all of Lambton County. In my 7 years here, I have been very impressed with the knowledge that the staff has provided with dealing with the provincial government in many different areas. Along with our top-notch staff and this new council, I want to see us build on the past success and make it even better over the next 4 years. Thank you.
I would now ask Councillor Stark to come forward to make his remarks.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow councilors, Mr. Warden, my name is Mike Stark, for those who are not aware of me, and I am from the city of Sarnia, and I'm humbled and honored to return to this chamber. The last time I rose to address this esteemed chamber, I was asking your predecessors to ratify an agreement that would see a drastic change in this county. That was 28 years ago. I was the Reeve of Clearwater, and as a result of an overwhelming vote by the electorate, we embarked on an exercise to change the way we delivered services to this county. The councilors of that day did ratify the agreement under the leadership of Warden Larry O'Neill. It was a historic moment in the history of this county. We asked the county to accept many new responsibilities as a new upper tier level of government and to accept a new city back into a county for the first time in Ontario's history. Well, 28 years later, look what you have accomplished. Lambton County is the flagship of county governance in the province. We deliver, you deliver, more services more effectively and efficiently than any other county in the province. The demands, the requests for services have not diminished. Quite the opposite. They have grown and continue to grow. The province continues to ask this county and others to do more with less. We have a strong advocate in our MPP, Bob Bailey, in Toronto, but he needs our help. We also must challenge his government to recognize that we are the frontline deliverers of service, and we must be their partners, not their adversaries. We must speak loudly and forcefully that forced amalgamations or boundary adjustments are not acceptable. Friendly and willing partners are the only way any boundary changes or amalgamations work. I know, I've been there. I will be a strong voice for you, along with the warden, to fight any imposed boundary adjustments. I will be that same tenacious voice that I was 28 years ago, supporting the economic viability of this county, our county. I humbly ask for your support, and hopefully you will see your way to vote for me as your next deputy warden. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now proceed with the election. Of course, we have two candidates, Mr. Kevin Marriott and Mr. Mike Stark. When completing your ballots, council, please write legibly. Now, make sure we can identify who you're voting for. At this point in time, we would like to ask the scrutineers to come forward and collect the ballots.
So, ladies and gentlemen, traditionally, this is where the chair of these proceedings gets to tell some stories. But I'm not going to tell too many stories. May get some people in trouble sitting out here. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I don't think we'll be that long with the results. Over the past years, sometimes it has taken quite some time. Some people in the room will understand what that means. But I think it'll be quicker today. And I don't have the skill set of Mr. Belton to be able to get up here and tell some jokes. So we'll just wait, and I'm sure it won't be too long. We'll have the results. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, we do have a result when it comes to the next Deputy Warden for the County of Lambton. The next Deputy Warden for the County of Lambton will be Councillor Marriott. Congratulations. Council, I would ask for a motion to make that official, if I could, please. Councillor Broad, Councillor Ferguson, all in favor? That is carried. Now I would ask for a motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor White and Councillor Veen, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Chair. That concludes the election. We certainly appreciate your services at this point in
My
time
pleasure.
within this agenda of the meeting. At this point in time, I would like to invite Mr. Miles Vanny, Executive Director, Inn of the Good Shepherd, to give the invocation.
Thank you for this opportunity and this distinct honor to be able to share some of my thoughts on public service. First, I must say thanks to each of you as councillors and as administrators for committing yourself to serve this county and your local communities. As politicians, you have put yourself forward for a tremendous task of serving and governing a diverse population and in a very complex political environment. You will face long hours, difficult challenges, and an unfortunately growing trend in our society where a differing view or opinion can leave you open to uncivil personal attacks. And yet, you will serve and do what you do with decorum, dignity, and respect, because that is what you do, that is who you are. In you is a desire to provide leadership, to make life in your communities better for all, to foster growth, development, a sense of fairness and community. I can't say what genetic makeup it is that is in each of us driving that sense of duty, but I can say that there is a quiet sense of peace and fulfillment that comes from it. Through my 35 years in scouting leadership, 16 years in Rotary, and 13 years at the Inn of the Good Shepherd, I've had the privilege and humble opportunity to serve and to be able to reflect on what just public service is. Now I know that there are some of you thinking that I'm way too young to have done all that and that many years of service. So I can say precisely doing all that helps keep me young. More than a few years ago, at a summer camp, I was taking a group of 20 scouts and 6 junior leaders on a 3-day hike through the Haliburton area. Hiking through the forest, crossing rivers, camping under the stars in the heat of August. With the junior leaders, we were having a bit of a difficult time with this group of scouts. They would be, as I would say, maybe a little spirited. And one in particular was very challenging. It was wearing down the junior leaders, and I could sense their frustration, and they're starting to pull back as the scouts weren't listening very well or undertaking their camp tasks. We got to our second night's campsite along a river, and I decided I needed to give the junior leaders a bit of a break. So I asked the patrol leaders to work with their patrols to get the site set up, their tarps laid out for sleeping, and to begin the meal prep. While I took the junior leaders down to the river to check out the swimming areas, set out the safety lines on the river, and to give them a chance to cool off with a dip. With this particular group of kids, I wasn't expecting much to be done when we returned to the site 20 minutes later. So I was somewhat surprised to see the scouts all sitting in their patrol areas. Tarps are laid out, but upon closer inspection, I noticed the 2 of the patrol leaders and that one particularly challenging scout were off to the side. The remaining patrol leaders came running up to explain that the scout had decided that he was better off up a tree rather than helping out the rest of the kids, right up at the top of a tree. It took them quite a bit of coaxing to get him down and to be back a part of the group again. They did it though, and they got the site cleaned up. After the swim, as we sat eating supper, the 4 patrol leaders talked about how they pulled that group together, how they set boundaries, and how they got the work done. 2 of them commented on how tough being a leader was and how good they felt being able to accomplish what they were able to do to get the Scouts all working together again. That, too, was exactly the feeling that myself and the junior leaders had after talking to those boys. Those junior leaders started that 3rd day of the hike with energy and a renewed sense of purpose. At the end of the Good Shepherd, I have found that our success and accomplishments in serving those in need has been most successful by having a firm belief in our mission, building a talented and compassionate team of staff and volunteers, and being able to rally a deep community commitment to that mission of fighting poverty throughout the county. It has shown that strength and unity can accomplish so much. Yes, you too will find that leadership is tough. You will have to make decisions that may not be popular to some. Small urgencies will divert energies from long-term goals, and resources will never be enough. And so I challenge you that if you stay true to your mission and your values, if you follow that Rotary commitment of service before self, if you treat people with dignity and respect, especially those with differing views, if you approach every decision with compassion and empathy, and if you seek that difficult balance between fiscal and social responsibility, that you will truly be a council and an administration that exemplifies the best there is in public service. Again, thank you for your commitment to this county and to your communities and your passion to serve.
We are now at that part of the agenda where we get into a bit of a ceremony. At this point in time, we typically invite a past warden who is currently sitting on county council to escort the newly elected, newly acclaimed warden to get gowned and crowned. So if we wish to start that and get that process moving, that'd be great. Committee room 2. And in the meantime, I'll invite Her Honor, Her Worship, Justice Gale to the chair's position.
Mr. Chair, can I ask a question? Taking the warden gown and escorted to the warden office, and the warden piped in, and are they still doing it in other communities? It seems like old-fashioned. Have they doing it in other communities? If they are doing it, that's fine. I'll sit down.
Well, it's funny you asked. There was a survey recently conducted from some of the communities, and some of them still hold to that tradition, heritage, and to this day continue it. They've tweaked their inaugural meetings a little bit, but yes. Not all, but some. now welcome for worship Gail to swear the warden in.
I, William Weaver,
I, William Weaver,
having been elected to the office of warden
having been elected to the office of warden
in the county of Lambton,
in the county of Lambton,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially
that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially
exercise this office
exercise this office
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
I have not received
I have not received
and will not receive
and will not receive
any payment or reward
any payment or reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
I will disclose
I will disclose
any pecuniary interest,
any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
And I make this solemn promise
and I make this solemn promise
and declaration
and declaration
conscientiously,
conscientiously,
believing it to be true
believing it to be true
and knowing that it is
and knowing that it is
of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you, Warden. Have your signature there and there.
Yeah.
I will now call upon Councillor Arnold, past warden of the county, to present the chain of office, keys, and gavel to our warden.
Congratulations. You represent us well. There you go. Rules of procedure. And the key to the office. Anybody else got any keys that need to be turned in? No, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
At this time, I'll invite any other presentations. Are there any other presentations for the warden? If not, then I'll call the warden to the chair. This is now your meeting.
Oh, here we go again. Eh? Good morning, everyone. Very humbling to be acclaimed. I've been in politics for about 30 years, and I have never been acclaimed before, so it is a different feeling, and I appreciate the respect and the support given to me this morning. I had 3 minutes that I was going to do before, but it'll kind of ramble into what I ramble on, and I want to thank a number of people and recognize a number of people, but I'm going to start off just with, we're fortunate to live in this country that we have the freedom to elect our representatives. I want to welcome and congratulate each of you that has been elected to this council table. We have just taken an oath of office that basically said we will do what is best for the county together. Today and going forward, we have 7 new representatives sitting around the table, 7 new perspectives and visions chosen to represent Lambton County. The blending of various levels of experience together with new visions and new ideas will serve Lambton County very well over the next 4 years. Lambton County has a tradition of honest and caring representation. The role of warden as head of council is clear in the Municipal Act, basically to chair the meetings and promote the county at many levels, locally, internationally, and nationally. Beyond that, I believe it is to provide a structure and atmosphere that every elected person at this table has the ability to contribute and have their local needs listened to and respected. We get opportunities to go to different levels of government to lobby for the best interests of Lambton County, and I believe that when we do that, if there's an item in a local municipality, those people need to be at the table with our council and with our warden and staff to take advantage of those opportunities that may become available and to present our case well. We have many economic drivers in our county: the industrial, agriculture, tourism, educational, research, and excellence. We need to grow our population to fill the jobs that are available, and that's a little different statement. We usually talk about how do we get more jobs. We have help wanted signs out in our communities year-round, people that are looking for workers. So I think growing our population is going to be very important, and bringing those people to our community that we can employ people. We need to continue exploring new possibilities using technology and improving connectivity for all areas of our community. We must continue to make existing county resources known and available to our lower tier municipalities so we can all become more efficient. I've always said that procedures need to be followed. We have a procedure by law, and I think we'll be probably updating that, and we need to follow those procedures. Consultation needs to be open and transparent, and actions and council direction needs to be clear. We have had instances where we've had a motion that is a little wishy-washy, and I think we need to make sure and go back and make sure that everybody understands, as well as staff understands, what the direction of council is, and those actions need to be timely. If we as a council build a level of respect for each other and the county staff, and we work together, we will accomplish good things for Lambton County. We will deal with many unknowns in the next 2 years and certainly in the next 4 years. Some of those decisions will be willing and some will be unwilling. We do not know with the provincial government, and I look at Mr. Bailey here, and what may be coming for us at this level. There will possibly be a change in the federal government. We deal with that every day on what the powers above us legislate that we must follow. So we will have to be ready. We'll have to do our homework. We'll have to be prepared to lessen the effects of things that may not be so good for us as a municipality, but also to be ready and able to take opportunities that come before us and run forward with those. So in those decisions, I've always said it's been a changing and challenging world we live in, and more than ever elected representatives are looked on to make decisions. I hope those decisions, when people look back in 20 years from now and 30 years from now, they will say, Council did the right thing. If we work together, I know we can. Thank you. Okay. Carrying on first, I have to say a little thank you to my wife, for Ginger, for being support for the past 2 years, and I know we are looking forward to keeping in touch with everybody and having the same relationship going forward for the next 2 years. So thank you, Ginger. We also are I'm very pleased that we have former wardens with us in attendance today. And I'd ask you to stand and be recognized. Pat Davidson. We also have one of my counselors who is the son of a warden from 1961, Ron Dodge. Stand up. We have past Warden Todd Case, and I want to thank you for your extend a sincere thank you for taking the chair today and officiating and not going on too long with stories. It was we also have Owen Byers here today. Owen. And Jim Burns is present today. So. Also, a former council that's been off for 12 days, as well as Mr. John McCharles. Thank you for showing up. And I want to extend a thank you and for Mr. Bob Bailey for attending today. Would you like a microphone? I certainly invite you to bring greetings. Pop that button. Yep, there you go.
Well, thank you, Warden Weaver. So greetings to your worship, Justice of the Peace Helen Gale, Warden Weaver, Deputy Warden Kevin Marriott, County Council, newly elected, and staff, of course, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be here on behalf of the Ontario government. I can say on behalf of the Ontario government now because I'm part of the government, so that's really nice. And I wanted to bring greetings, of course, from His Honorable Monty McNaughton. He's tied up in Toronto. He's either cutting a ribbon, turning some sod, or something to do with an infrastructure project somewhere. If anybody follows him on Twitter, he's all over the province. So anyway, I get to do I'd rather do this kind of thing and come back here and meet with all of you. So it's a privilege. I want to congratulate all of you that were returned, and especially the new councilors who are going to start on a new a new program. So I look forward to working with the warden and the deputy warden and all of the council. And something I'd like to get on the record, the County of Lambton's always did a yeoman's job when they come to Toronto to lobby to, whether I was in opposition and I seen them at work, and now that we're in government, I look forward to working with them and the warden and all the wardens I've worked with. And there's a number of them in 12 years, but they've all did a great job for you, the people of Lambton County. So again, my best wishes, my congratulations to everyone that's here, and I look forward to, I guess as early as January, we've got Roma, and then Good Roads in February, where we'll have all kinds of meetings, I know at Queen's Park, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you, and probably getting out to see some of the new councilors in their chambers. But I thought today was the best day to come because I get to see all of you in one spot. So thanks again, and congratulations.
Warden?
So I made my first boo-boo right off the bat. I forgot to recognize Warden Steve Arnold, past warden. So, and thank you for participating. Also, I want to extend a thanks to Miles for his address and presentation. I was going to say he kind of took what I wanted to say about leadership and unity, but I hope that type of teamwork can work around the table, and I appreciate your words, and we will remember them in the next 2/4 years. So, if there is anything else that's needed at this time, we do have to break for striking committee, and we have a reception and some refreshments that will be available in the lobby. When we return, I would like all 17 members of council up behind here. We're going to get a picture of the Lambton County Council before so when you're all dressed up, we'll get you behind here and get a photo to start off the term, so as well as our dignitaries that have joined us. So with that, I will Councillor Bradley.
I hate to ask this, but is there any chance we can take that picture now?
I guess we could.
I don't want to be self-serving or anything, but some of us may have to leave.
Okay, we'll do that now. There's still public here, and yeah. So, come on up, folks, and then we'll have a reception.